And so that leads us to a question: what do we do in a world full of tares? How do we function in a world full of wheat? How do we respond? And that leads us to the Jesus interpretation, or at least it leads us back rather into some of the questions. And I want to take you, first of all, to read the latter part of the story so that we understand who Jesus slots in these categories. Then we want to go back and ask the questions asked in the middle of the story. So go to verse 36, because Jesus is going to explain the parable, and I want Jesus to explain it because it kind of goes without saying he's going to do a much better job than I will. Verse 36, Jesus sent the multitude away. He went into the house, and his disciples came to him and said, "Explain to us the parable of the tares of the field." And he answered and said to them, "He who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seeds are the son of the kingdom, but the tares are the son of the wicked one." I want to stop right there and make a comparison. Remember last night we told you that in the parable of the sower, Jesus explained it that the seed is the word. And we showed you that according to the New Testament, the word is Jesus. Therefore, in the parable of the sower, Jesus is what is planted in the world. But in the parable of the wheat and the tares, Jesus changes the cast of characters. It's still an agricultural illustration, but he changes who is what, because he has that prerogative. If you're going to use an illustration, you get to make it mean what you need for it to mean. So in the parable of the wheat and the tares, he says the one who actually does the sowing is Jesus, the Son of Man. And what he plants in the world, the field, are good seeds. And what are good seeds? Verse 38, sons of the kingdom, but tares are sons of the wicked one. And so in the story of the wheat and the tares, the wheat, that which is produced by the hand of Jesus, becomes the inhabitants of the kingdom of God. And the weeds, that which is planted by, according to verse 39, the enemy sowed them, is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are the angels. So the enemy comes in and sows the weeds, which are the children of this world, which is the wickedness and the darkness of this world, which grows right up next to the good. And therefore, in verse 40, the tares are gathered and burned in the fire. So it will be at the end of this age. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and those who practice lawlessness, and will cast them into the furnace of fire, where there will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. And the righteous will shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. And that last part really gets us excited. That's what we preach most of the time, which is, at the end of the age, the Son of Man is going to send his angels, and he's going to cast into the furnace of fire, where there's wailing and gnashing of teeth, all the people that practice lawlessness. Those tares, those weeds are finally going to get what's coming to them. And we sort of, with a smug smile, knowing that we're going to win in the end, close our Bibles and go to lunch. Because the reality is no matter what's going on in the world, we win, they lose, they're all going to burn in hell, and we're going to make it home. And boy, let's go eat some chicken. It's kind of how we land on some of these stories. Like I don't know all the details. I don't understand what Jesus is trying to say. So let's just jump to the end. Because in the end, the angels come down here. They take all the bad people away. And in the end, everybody that's bad is going to burn. And everybody that's good is going to shine forth like the sons of righteousness in the land of their Father. And I know which one I am. And I'm pretty sure which one you are. And so let's just move forward. And that doesn't require anything of us. Now I want to pose a little something to you before we really dig in. Why is it that Jesus doesn't reveal that interpretation until he's in private with his disciples? Doesn't it seem like he should have revealed that in public to all the tares, to all the weeds? It seems like he should have turned at the end of his little illustration in public, not private, and said, "Pay attention, weeds. You're going to get it. You're all in trouble. You think you're winning this battle now? But the bad news for you is my dad's watching. And he's got harvesters. And he's going to come. And he's going to take you out. And when he takes you out, he's going to burn you up in a furnace. And my dad's going to win." But he doesn't do that. To the public, he gives a story with no real explanation. It's only to his disciples that he gives the details of the story. However, he does give the single most important answers to the story. This, to me, fascinates me about the wheat and the tares. The biggest part of it, the meatiest part of it, is the part we miss, because it's the part he doesn't give the interpretation to. We run to the end where he explains it, because it's much easier for me to tell you what's on the test than for you to study for the test. Right? You go, I got to take this test. And I go, well, I've already taken it. You go, give me the answers. I go, well, I could help you study. Forget that. Who needs to be helped study? You already know what's on the test. So why go dig into the story and learn anything if Jesus explains it in private? There's a reason he didn't explain it in public. There's a few things inside the opening description of the story that hold the key to what's going on in the story, and I think what's going on in the world today. And so, for purposes of this study, I don't really want to focus on Jesus' private interpretation to the disciples. You already get that. In fact, the part that fires us up is everything's going to burn in fire and he's going to, we're going to shine like the sun. I want to focus on why he didn't tell that to the public. And I want to focus on what he actually did say to the public that we miss. And we miss it. Some of it's because of translation. We're going to work with that. Some of it's because we're just so blasted excited to find out who wins. Right. Like we can't read the story and get the information we need. We just want to find out who wins. Not really. We just want to find out who loses. Yes. Yeah, that's it. I mean, we're pretty sure we win. Yeah. We just want to figure out who we get to throw in the furnace.